Welcome back to CIOs and Bow Ties. This is our part 2 series with James Eagle from Eagle Eye. Love that, James. EEGLI, Eagle Eye, which is the name of his consulting business. James is a real, I would call him a guru, and I think you would too after seeing some of his content, which they are linked to below, in the various space, economic, financial space, but he serves clients across industries. So James, let's just jump right in. And at the end of the first part, I mentioned we were going to get a bit specific. So let's do that. Let's talk about private banking, as it were, today. And some of our listeners could probably think of that in the context of wealth management. But let's stick with private banking in the social media age, content creation. How do you win in space if that's your private banking being your business? How do you win in the social media content creation space?
Well, I think, let me broaden this out a bit. It's not just private banking. This is a topic that covers wealth management and covers asset management as well. So two huge, or three really big industries. I think the biggest problem that we have has been that as an industry, we have always created this kind of barrier between ourselves and the investor. So, private banking is fairly tangible. It's got something to do with banking as a word. The word private banking, it's private, and it's something to do with banking. Mm-hmm. And then if you look at wealth management, it's managing wealth, whatever that is. And then asset management. Asset management is the worst of the three. Asset management means pretty much nothing to most ordinary human beings.
Right.
And the problem is because all of these names are just literally pieces of jargon. They're jargon words that we understand because we work in the industry, but most ordinary people don't. And I think that's where you really need to start. That's the root of the problem with these industries. It's that we tend to manage those industries from the inside out. We tend to look from the inside outwards. And as a result, our content often reflects that culture. So this is kind of where the barriers begin, because if you're able to get over that and understand that you're not there, and I'm going to go back to this term serving, you're not there to serve yourselves internally within your corporate culture, you're there to serve your investors, then suddenly things change. Suddenly you think, well, do I really need to show them this huge suite of products, investment products, because all my competitors are, and I need to show them everything that I can do under the sun and show how good I am and how wonderful I am and how big I am. Do I really need to say that I've got a global reach and a local presence in every single country, and that I have this, that we have offices all around the world, and show a big fat map and say where we're located? Do I really need to do that? Does that really impress people? If I'm a wealthy individual who needs a personalized service, do I care that you're big, or do I care that you're well known? What I care about is what you're going to do for me. It's about me. Right. Likewise, as an asset manager, what is it? What's in it for me as an investor? What am I getting out of this? Mm-hmm. And this is, I think, something that asset management is starting to do. Private banking is getting much better at it as well. So you're seeing a lot of kind of influential figures from the private banking industry actually now shooting video and appearing online, which was something that was almost unthinkable 4 or 5 years ago. And you're starting to see tentative kind of moves into the content creation space within asset management. And
that's going to be good for you, right?
It's good, but there are barriers, So right. I'll give you an example. I was given this huge document a couple of days ago, and it was provided to me by a very, very large asset manager, and this was the product of several months' work with lots of sign-offs involved. And the document was slapped on my desk, and they said, we want you to help us simplify this and create some digital content. What do you think? We want to know what you think of it. We think it might be a bit big. So I had a look at it, and I said to them, well, okay, I've got two things to show you. Here, I've got a Michelin star menu. You have 3 options for your starter, 3 options for your main, and 2 options for dessert. So either a pudding or cheese or something. Now, this is a Chinese menu. There are thousands and thousands of options. And what you do is you order what you want by just calling out your number. Now, which is the best business model here for you? Are you trying to deliver a Chinese takeaway, or are you trying to deliver Michelin star? And that was a very, very difficult conversation to have, because they all said, well, we want to go for the Michelin star. I said, well, if you want to go for the Michelin star, then you need to make the choices simpler. Okay, what you're trying to do is you're trying to deliver solutions, and you're not trying to deliver a kind of overload of choice, because that is what stops people from wanting to invest. That's the reason why people don't actually bother to look at their pension plan, because even just a few investment options on their corporate pension plan can put them off making a decision. So this is the key, the issue I think that a lot of banks and a lot of asset managers have. They often overcomplicate things. They allow corporate politics internally to prevent and suffocate the creative process. Right. And that's one of the barriers that I have to deal with. So I have to go in there and I have to be very frank and say these types of things in order for them to understand that if they really want something good quality, it's not good enough coming to me and hiring me. You've got to really change your mindset about how you approach things as a business. And it's difficult for me because obviously that kind of approach will lose me clients. But I'm prepared to do that because I don't want to be in the situation where I was before, where I was doing a good job and the portfolio managers liked me and the senior managers liked me, but no one read my stuff. You see? So for me, it's more than just providing a service. It's more than just earning a salary. It's about actually making some change and doing some good.
Okay. All right. So the Chinese menu is out. Any other nuggets of wisdom for asset managers, private banks that are listening to this? Obviously, the empathy or the storytelling with an emotion is good. Servicing your being of service as opposed to, I guess, giving versus taking is good. Any other anecdotes or valuable points on the content creation side for clients?
Yes, this is probably I'll just leave you with this one thought. Don't take yourself too seriously. This is a real problem in the industry. Does that consultant really want to read a 50-page white paper written in a very academic way? Do you really need to walk around in suits and ties and take pictures of yourselves and present yourselves as these very serious, guarded people? I mean, in some situations, yes. But sometimes if I'm going to give you the keys to, let's put it this way. If I'm going to allow you to manage my lifetime of wealth that I've created, I want to be able to trust you. And I want to know that the person I'm talking to you is not just a guy in a suit who wears a very fancy watch and drives a Porsche. I want to know who you really are and whether or not I can really trust you. Are you a family man? Are you someone who shares my concerns? I'm giving you my money and my wealth. Are you going to look after it for me? It's like the Patek Philippe advert, which says that you never own a Patek Philippe watch. You just look after it for the next generation.
That's right.
And that is what I want to see. That is the type of image and the type of service that we need to provide our investors.
Okay, that's terrific. That's good stuff, James. I think the listeners here, because this, this is we're all industry specialists. We know how to create the Chinese menu. That's not an issue for us. But I think communicating that across virtual platforms is definitely a challenge for a lot of us. So just hang with us for a little bit more if that's okay, James. So we're going to take one more short break. When we come back, I just want to delve into a little bit of the creative, imaginative side and how you come up with ideas and how you produce what I consider to be high quality work on a consistent basis. So just hang with us for a few more minutes, James.